I was getting gang raped at school. They knew, I was pregnant twice and they knew and they did nothing, nothing. So I got out of that relationship and the old mighty Mark Moran, a lot of people might not see him like that, but he was a bit of a saviour for me. He sort of took me under his wing from the gang rapes and just sort of showed me that wasn't love, basically. There was also a lot of adventures with Mark and Alphonse and Jason and, walking into a nightclub and everybody just moves aside and everything you want is there for free. And I still have an alarm at 9:38 every morning set where I say, I love you, Mum. Thank you, Mum. And I've got a tattoo here. Your voice is your armor. Go out there and be our warrior. And that's dedicated from my mum and my 3 sisters and my daughter. And I also have a huge, wicked, big back tattoo. And Mummy's ashes are in the ink. So it's dedicated to Mum, Heather Eve, and Sissy, Tammy and Kerry. And yeah, Mum's ashes are in the ink. I feel very privileged to be where I am, to have the courage to speak. I am the voice for the voiceless, I like to say. And I often describe myself as the chosen one. Like, why the fuck? How did I get here? So yeah, sharing my story is my passion. My passion is to pay my lifetime of abuse forward. And, if I can save one life or hopefully hundreds, that is what I would love to do.
Kellie Carter-Bell, welcome to the Tonksy Media Podcast.
Thank you, and it's an honour to be here.
No worries at all. I'm sorry it has been a little bit of delay here and there, but we're finally here, ready to hear the story behind the person that you are. But there's one question I want to ask you straight up: why did you agree to come on the podcast, and what do you hope the viewers get out of hearing your story?
Okay, so most people want to be making money while they're sleeping. I want to be saving lives while I'm sleeping, and podcasts are the way to go. I share my story in the hope that it will save others. You can listen to a podcast, anywhere, anytime in the world. And I thought this was a great opportunity. You have younger viewers as well, so I can sort of teach them what not to do. I need to share this story of survival and show people that when you put the hard work in and you're willing and ready to break that cycle, it's very, very possible.
100%, and well said. That's a great introduction. On that note, let's take it back to the beginning, Kellie. I want to hear, who Kellie Carter-Bell is. Tell us a bit about your childhood and your upbringing, and we'll venture on from there.
Yep, no problems. Okay, so I was born into a life of the underworld, underbelly, gangland, domestic violence, drugs, you name it, murder. But my dad was a copper. So Dad left when I was about 8, and prior to that, I was sexually assaulted at the age of 4. I was sexually assaulted at the age of 8, and I think after that, I had the belief that my dad left because he didn't love me. And quite obviously, that was never going to work, that relationship. I went to 10 primary schools. Mum had to do what we used to call back in the day a lot of midnight flips. Couldn't afford to pay the rent, or maybe the police have raided and we've had to run. So that was really difficult. That was really hard. A lot of disconnection. I went to, before high school, the age of 11 to 13. I used to be gang raped most weekends by the Carlton boys.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And then, because I had watched domestic violence, I'd watched my sister's father beat my mother. So he went in and out of jail, and Dad and I would come. Dad would come in and out of our lives when he was in jail. There was so much
Wow.
normality and, yeah, so much normality and routine and love, to a dead set war zone. Yeah, so Mum was with that guy for, I probably would have been until about 10, I'd say. And then, yeah, so we moved to Carlton, and I was that girl without a father, 3 heroin addict sisters, no really role model with a worth of, I'd say, less than worthless.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That went into, because I watched the domestic violence, I believed a black eye was full of love. I literally believed a black eye was full of love. I'd watched it. I remember one night, probably about 2 in the morning, I could hear my sister screaming downstairs, and her partner was beating her, and I just rolled over and went back to sleep. So, yeah, in between then times, there were things like, Mum and I smuggled a gun into Jaika Jaika. Yeah.
What? Just to fill us in. What's that?
Jaika Jaika H division in Pentridge Prison.
Ah, yeah, righto. Yep.
Yeah, so one of the highest security,
Yep.
yeah, divisions there
Yep.
was. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, yeah. That
Yeah.
was my way of life. And I got my first black eye at 13. And honestly, I can say it was dead set, like a fucking high five moment. You fucking beauty, I've joined the club. You know, he loves me.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And
That's just how
that real
normal it was back then, I guess. Like,
I like I said, I believed a black eye was full of love. It was 3 sisters, my mum, like my sister's father had gone out of the scene by now, but 3 heroin addict sisters being beaten all the time, one married to Australia's most notorious criminals. You know, it was monkey see, monkey do. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that relationship lasted about 2.5 years, and I literally spent 2.5 years like that, because if I looked up, I was looking at a guy and I got a punch in the eye. No, he'd take
Wow.
my money. Oh, there was many black eyes in that one, many black eyes. Um, like he was so insecure and jealous, he would make me ride my push bike from Princess Hill High School, which is just in Carlton, Parkville there, to the Melbourne Uni, to spend my lunchtime with my mum for 45 minutes, so I couldn't speak to anyone. That's how controlled that one was. And
Yeah.
to get it, yeah, I still believed he loved me. I didn't understand any different. You know, I could come home from school with 2 black eyes. I could go to school with 2 black eyes. I was getting gang raped at school. They knew, you know, I was pregnant twice, and they knew, and they did nothing. Um, So I got out of that relationship, and the old mighty Mark Moran. A lot of people might not see him like that, but he was a bit of a savior for me. He sort of took me under his wing from the gang rapes, and just sort of showed me that wasn't love, basically.
Yeah.
You know, there was also a lot of adventures with Mark and Alphonse and Jason, and walking into a nightclub, and everybody just moves aside, and everything you want is there for free. That was by the age of 15, 16, I'd say. Did that for a couple of years. Gary Abdallah type crew, involved with them for a while.
Yep.
You know, there you're going to get a glitch there. Bloody Wall
You're
Street.
all right.
Yeah, Wall Street, the murders of the two coppers, that's when I
Yeah.
was hanging around with that crew as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
yeah, that was, yeah. And I also picked up a copper's gun outside of a nightclub, and give that one to Gary Abdallah. I'm not sure what happened with that, but yeah. Yeah.
Wow. You
Yeah.
never got caught for it, or?
No, no.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's
You
probably
picked that
around
one hard.
fifth. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know what to keep inside until the time is right.
Yeah.
Um,
You're a
yeah.
smart woman. I know that.
All my life is in one ear and out the other. I was just going to say, 15, I would have been cleaning up a murder scene for my brother-in-law. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, that's how I grew up. That's what I knew. So there was no doubt in the world
Yeah. Now,
that,
just quickly, Kelly. So a lot of
yeah,
people will know these names, these big underworld figure names, through the Underbellies that were, what's your perception on those theories? Well, the main Melbourne gangland war, I guess,
yeah.
compared to the real life.
Oh, I reckon
Like,
30,
did some
70.
bits match up, or
Oh yeah, some bits matched up, but a lot didn't too.
yeah, I
Yeah,
can imagine. I
in
thought
my
that.
opinion. Yeah, yeah. Um, like with Animal Kingdom, and that being about my brother-in-law's family, they changed that story so much so you couldn't identify them, so that lovely lady Kathy Pennigill could make money from it.
Yeah,
So I'd say there was still a lot of people alive then. They would have had to do the same. But it's a very addictive lifestyle. It's a very addictive lifestyle. Um, you can almost have anything you want whenever you want it,
yeah, wow,
whether it be leather goods, diamonds, alcohol, drugs, you
yeah.
name it. It was
Can
all
I ask,
there, and
as far as substance abuse and things like that, did you ever get caught up in addictions or anything like that? No.
no, the alcohol. I was an alcoholic for about 15 years,
Okay.
um, and I
When you
haven't had
say
a drink.
alcoholic, sorry, when you say alcoholic, was
Yep,
you a functioning alcoholic? Was you an everyday drinker?
I'm very functioning alcoholic. Like, I didn't drink until night,
Okay.
and still ran my life. But I needed to have my beers at night.
Yeah,
And I'll throw in here that the opposite of addiction is connection.
yeah, 100%. I agree there too.
Yeah, yeah. And I really found that, because I found it really hard to let my kids hug me or hug my kids up until a couple of months ago, because of the trauma. I thought, they're either going to leave me,
Yeah,
or I'm just too scared to be loved. So that was the alcohol, the
PTSD, I guess. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. But the alcohol for me was the anxiety. So that's that's made a huge big difference in my life. Yeah, but that one caught me. You can go to the shop and buy it whenever you want. I can sit in my room. I was a hermit for 10 years.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but just realized my self-worth, what I can do with my story, and yeah, need to share it.
Yeah, definitely. And it's great that you are 100%, Um, talk us through a bit more of, like those days. I'm aware that you and your sister married inside Pentry. Is that correct?
Yeah, I wasn't in there. He was in there. Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Can you talk us
Same.
through that?
Yeah. Yep. So I was probably a perfect candidate when he was released. Unfortunately, he was one of the Heidelberg rapists. I didn't know
Right.
that as far as I knew, he was a dumb bank robber that always got caught. My sisters spent time in Pentridge. They had A division there for the women, and they could talk to the men across the yards. And they sort of thought it was a good idea to send me up to Bendigo prison to meet him. Once again, I was probably love bombed, didn't know what that was at the moment. I was a whole 18.
Yep.
Yeah. He was 32. Um, yeah. So I was sort of groomed, yeah. And when he got out, he did an armed robbery, had a shootout with police, and they shot him a couple of times, but saved his life, unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever you want to say.
Yep.
Um, and yeah, that meant that back in prison, and you know what you do back in them days, you get married to get them out, don't you?
Wow.
Or you have a baby.
Yeah.
Um, I was pregnant and I lost my first child.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Ironically, her name was going to be Heaven. I'm into very unusual names. But we
Wow.
named her, yeah, Heather Eve, her name is, and she was 37 the other day.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So I always said I never wanted to take my children to prison to visit their kids. They have to have the nappy search. They can't have a bottle back in them days.
Yeah. My son was the same with me with my children too when I was in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Not their problem, I'm sorry to say. Yeah.
Oh, that's, yeah,
That's
I'm
not
glad
the
too.
kids' problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the
Um,
time, yeah, it sucks being in there and not being, but now I look back and I'm so happy it went that way,
yeah,
like,
yes, exactly.
they
A
never ever
lesson
had
to
to
be
see me
learned.
inside of a prison, like,
Yeah, yeah. So I truly believe that like she's my guardian angel and she needed to go. I was 21 weeks pregnant. At 18 weeks, they told me she had hydrocephalus, which is a little tube on the brain that doesn't develop. I had her at 21 weeks. I was in labor for 17 hours.
oh, wow.
Yeah, and I delivered her stillborn. He was in jail just after that shootout. Um, he was allowed to come and visit her with handcuffs on and things. Um, God, that was hard, mate. God, that was hard.
I can only imagine.
Um, yeah, yeah, like I had to wait about 3 weeks to put her to rest because he'd gone to jail. The others had gone to jail with him, so there was no source of sort of money to do them things.
Yeah,
But I managed.
yeah, good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, after that, 19 years old, he was back in Pentridge. Um, and I lived the life of a slave, you could almost say. Yeah,
Yep.
even though he was still inside there, all my life resolved around was him
Yeah.
and getting him out. Yeah. Yep.
I guess you wouldn't really have, known any different. Like, you know, you look back now, and I'm sure you wish you had have done things different. But I guess, but like you were saying back then, it was such a normality to you.
Yes.
All this, and now it's obviously created such a traumatic hole in you that
Yes.
But
Yeah,
look, it's you've got a story.
I do. I do.
Yeah.
It's hard, that one, because like I said, Sissy also married Dennis, Mr. D. He killed 13 people, one of Australia's most biggest drug dealers. So she married him about 6 years prior, and I'm outside, I think, got 8, no, about 12, dressed up, waiting for mum and her dad and things to come out. My older sister might have been looking after me and whatever outside the gates of Pentridge. So
Wow.
once again, it was literally my life, and I thought I got done up to the nines, man. I got done up to the
Yeah.
nines, I took the diamond out of my ring. Yeah, because he always used to say he'd ruin my smile if he couldn't kill me. So yeah, I took it out of my ring and put it in my tooth because yeah, there's no way anyone's spoiling that smile.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I know,
That's a story
huh?
in its own right there, eh?
Yeah, yeah, yes, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so um. I was just going to add in there, um, John turned Crown Witness. He got out from the,
So just quickly,
got out.
John
John
is.
is my ex-husband who
Okay, yeah,
tried to
yeah.
kill me.
First time you
Yep, yep.
mentioned the name, so I'm with
Sorry,
you. No,
yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
I used to call him sperm donor, but I
Yeah.
think it gives him too much power. So
Yeah.
his name's John. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
John it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so he got out from the robbery, would have been on parole, and then yeah, next thing I know, him and his co-offender had killed someone at the back of and dumped them out the back of where I lived.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
he'd stolen a gold bracelet off the co-offender's missus. And yeah, he was a career criminal that had murdered a few people before that. Yeah, so John got charged for that few months later. Like he threw it on me as soon as he got home that night. Once again, I knew about someone being murdered where they were. They ended up finding the body. But yeah, that the co-offender got bail. And I was at a nightclub one night, and I seen him there. And I'm a feisty bitch, yeah, and I thought that was my man, yeah. And I went up to him and I said, "What the fuck, mate? What the fuck? What are you fucking doing here when my man's in fucking jail? What the fuck's going on? Get him out." And he grabbed my wrists, he had 2 gold bracelets, and he took me over to his missus, and he goes, "Get her the fuck out of here, or she's going in the fucking boot." And yeah, like I said, my gold bracelets were indented into my wrist in the morning. That
Wow.
was just me, that's how I grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
So,
I
yeah.
can understand where you're coming from there too. Like, what ended up happening with the missus?
Yeah, she just got me out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She knew what he was like. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Wasn't a nice man at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, so by the age of 19, married John in Pentridge. Yeah. He got done for that what was that time? That was the murder. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, of course, you marry him to either get him parole or get him a lighter sentence. Um, And yeah, so that would have been in between the getting bail for the robbery and
Yep.
killing the guy. So I married him once in Pentridge, like I said, got done up to the nines. Married him once in there. He ended up getting, he turned dog. Yeah,
Oh, well.
so went Crown Witness. Yeah, yeah. The whole shenanigans, mate. Oh God, it was terrifying. Um, he was still going to court with co-offender, but they didn't know that he'd turned dog.
So
Um,
turned on the Cully.
yeah, yeah,
And so
yeah.
the Cully was the fella that you went up to in the nightclub.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. Shit, sorry, mate.
You're right.
Um, and yes, I married him again when he was released for some crazy reason. Um, like that was a bit different, that one, outside and a bit more, I won't
Yeah.
say,
A bit more
a
normal.
few a few more guests
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah. Yeah, and so yeah, he was released for becoming Crown Witness. We were moved up to Queensland, and yeah, relocated
Yeah.
up there. But first of all, sorry, I will say, because he thought he could protect us, we lived in Frankston, and he told us to move the coppers to just move us to Mornington, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
every minute of every day, I imagined people were coming to do a run through.
I can
Yeah,
imagine it. On the edge
yes.
of your seat.
Oof, oof. Oh, yeah, especially, we're just a suburb away, and this lunatic can't fucking do a robbery right. How can you fucking save us?
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah,
What ended up going? So you've married him a second time.
yep,
Are your children to this guy?
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. So, my angel in heaven, yep,
Yeah.
yep. And then I had four under four to him. Um, I
4 under 4.
have,
Wow, that's
yeah,
yeah.
tells you something, doesn't it?
Straight back at it every
uh,
time, eh?
yeah, no choice sometimes.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, had a 3.5-year-old, a 2-year-old. 5 days later, I had twins.
Oh wow.
Are you?
Twins. Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. You want to hear the funny part? As soon as I got rid of him when he tried to kill me, it was so fucking easy. It wasn't funny, mate.
Yeah. Look,
I like
explain.
to try and bring the light into the story. Yeah, yeah. There was just no more control. But um, yeah, I stayed with him for that was we lived up there for 7 years, um, back and forth to do court cases and things.
Yep.
Absolutely terrifying once again. Um, there was one night we're in a motel um, doing, he was there for doing the court case, being Crown Witness. And the hotel sort of knew what was going on because there was a homicide squad detective with us.
Okay.
And they rang the room about 12 o'clock and they go, "We've just found a guy outside your room. He said he stayed there last night and he's looking for the toilet." Oh, I have probably a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old at that stage, maybe 2 and 3, very pregnant with twins. So thank goodness the copper was armed, and their thought was run out the door and go and find him. My thought was the fucking idiot, they've left me and he's going to come back and get me. So the kids are
Yeah.
asleep and all I could think of was doing grabbing a big knife and just standing there, and like now that I can think back at it, just waiting to for the consequences basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a one that I don't know if it fell through what it was, but it was pretty I'm pretty certain it was someone there to do something. John and my oldest son were playing soccer. There was a park across the road from the hotel. We were just in Preston during the day. You know, we'd been to court. So, and this guy was capable of lot, whether he was in or out of jail. So,
Yeah, yeah,
and yeah, yeah, yeah. So that wasn't a fun time. Very educational time. Um, but yeah, yeah.
yeah. Wow.
So mm, ended up having the twins and having the 4 kids under 4. And I'd say that's when things sort of went downhill. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
In a
yeah.
bit. Yeah, talk us through that a little.
Um, so he was drinking a lot and I wasn't aware. Um, he was smoking marijuana, which now that I look back at it, it's not a big problem for a lot of people. But I'd lost 3 sisters to heroin, so I was dead against any
Yeah, of
drug.
course. Yeah,
Um,
understandable.
yeah. So it's sort of getting a lot more of the mental abuse. Like I was looking after 4 kids under 4. He worked 15 hours a day. And if that dinner wasn't on the table, you fucking fat lazy cunt, what have you been doing all day?
Yeah, the mental. Yeah,
Looking after your children. And then on the other hand, I take the 4 children to the child health nurse. Like I had 4-year-old, 3.5-year-old, and 2-year-old twins. I had the 2-year-olds 5 days after my 3.5-year-old's birthday. So 3 birthdays in 5 days in November.
yeah.
I go to the childcare centre and they'd say, how do you do this? How do you do this?
I was about to ask
Like,
the same question.
yeah, but with no one knew what was going on at home. No
Yeah,
way. No
yeah. Well,
way.
from what
Yeah,
you've told me, I'm thinking, how the
yeah,
hell are you, just for one, just even looking after 4 kids under 4, a set of twins on your own,
yeah,
not
yeah,
even thinking about what's going on behind closed
yeah,
doors. So,
yeah. And
like,
after losing my first, yeah.
yeah, so you've
Um,
got that grief embedded down in there.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you're being
yeah,
physically, mentally, emotionally
yeah,
abused left, right, and centre behind closed doors. Plus, you're trying to be a stable mother with
yeah,
4 kids under the age of 4. It's
yes. I'd
yeah,
also already lost my 3 sisters by then, mate.
yeah. Wow, I can
Yeah,
only begin to imagine the depth of grief you're carrying through this. You know.
yeah. And
Can
that's why
I,
I do what I do.
yeah, 100%. And you know, all props to you too. But
Yeah.
can I ask, did you have any support from family, anything whatsoever, anybody in this time? Like, did you have anybody that you were telling, you know?
I was in front of a psychologist for a long time, and that sort of gave me the belief that I deserve to fight for my 5th child, because that I don't call them criminal perpetrators, I call them criminals. He fucking flogged me in front of my children for 6 years. Oh, vicious, vicious. I didn't have one black eye a week, I had 2 black eyes.
Yeah,
Um, and um, so got out of that and met the most amazing man of my life, Shane Keith Warne. And I wasn't out of that last relationship for a long time, so I still thought, you know, I was sort of worthless, not worth love. And Shane, within listening to me for 5 minutes, was just fascinated. What are you talking about? What has happened to you? And you look like this with a smile like that? Um, and yeah, I think it's my mum's strength. She lost 3 daughters and she stayed on this planet for another 29 years, mate.
yeah,
For me. Yep.
yeah,
I think Dad's brains, and just the will to want to break the cycle. Because I
Yeah,
realized what I was doing was exactly the same. I grew up in a zoo with animals, and that's what my kids were watching.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, Shane coming into my life was perfect timing. Um, the ripple effect of that has been ongoing for the last 20 years. Um,
So can I just quickly ask what years and what age were you when Warnie came into your life?
okay, so we're going back about 17 years.
Okay,
Yep.
so
So I have
around his sort of prime cricketing years, I guess. A
he
little bit after.
just sort of a bit after,
Yeah,
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 going overseas and playing and still doing Melbourne Stars and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, so yeah, that was just so meant to come into my life at that time. Um, it feels like such a privilege, such an honor. Um, and like I said, the ripple effect of that is that I realized that I was a beautiful person inside and out, and I deserve to be treated like one, and my children deserve the mother that I could be.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, he was
Can I ask?
just
So
taught.
yeah, sorry, but did like what what was the relationship with Warnie? Was it an intimate relationship, or was it just a friend, or like yeah? Do you mind talking about that?
Yeah, it's one where I always promised him I'd never kiss and tell.
Yeah, okay, yep, yep,
Okay,
gotcha.
it was a friendship. It was it was like a what's the word? Mentor
Yep,
for me. Um, it was just so much. Like my bedroom is a shrine. I have two big, huge tattoos of him now. Got a little number 23 tattoo here. Um, Yeah, used to say to him, I've loved you since you were chubby with a mullet. You've always been my idol.
yeah,
He
that's
didn't
awesome. That
like
gives
that.
me goosebumps.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, like he also taught me never, ever, ever give up, Kelly. Never give up. Your story can make a difference. And we both had the belief that manners cost nothing and get you everywhere. So
Yeah,
that was really great too. And that relationship continued on for about 6, 7 years.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Friends, in touch, going to cricket, watching him play poker, and he'd give him tip of the hat to me.
yeah,
Um, Beautiful things. Yeah, really beautiful, beautiful memories.
yeah, awesome. And so you say that lasted 7 years.
Yeah.
What was the turning point there?
Liz.
His part.
Liz, Liz. I can't even think of her bloody last name. What is
Yeah,
it? Um,
I know who you're talking about.
Liz. Yeah, yeah, that'll be glitch. Liz Hurley.
Yeah,
Liz
yeah,
Hurley. Yeah.
okay.
No
Got a bit of
more, no more black phone, no more bat books, but he kept the numbers.
yeah, got,
I've still got the same phone number, mate. I will not change it. I know he's not here, but I still have the same phone number. Yeah. My in email address is very interesting, as you would have seen, and the
yeah,
23s behind it. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
100%. I
just
wondered
like,
what that was actually. I didn't quite click,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
But he honestly, he saved my life almost,
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Well, clearly, he obviously, you know, shown you self belief, as a number one thing.
yeah,
Like
uh,
clearly you're sitting here years later, still talking about it with a huge grin on your face. He's obviously
yeah,
fulfilled something within you. That's for sure. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
he was a
And
legend
what a
at the end of the day.
privilege. A lot of people, what do you mean, Shane Warne? But once you get to know the man, there was
Yeah, and I
so
mean,
much more.
the media did plaster a lot of shit about him, like the drug use and the cheating on his wife and all that bullshit. But realistically, he was no different to the average bloke.
That's it.
He just had a known name and a story for the media. You know,
And
like
a good, yeah, and a good look.
yeah,
I was going to say to you, shit, what was it? Um, oh, what else did he teach me or something like that? Shit. Anyway,
yep.
my- yeah, okay.
I'm
Get back
sure
to that one.
his passing would have came
Oh,
to a big surprise
yeah,
to you.
yeah. I was just, yeah, it did. It was huge. It was horrible.
Yeah,
Um, Rod Marsh had passed either the night before or pretty sure early, maybe the morning before. And my daughter come and woke me up and said, Mum, Shane's passed. And I said, no, that was Rod Marsh. That wasn't Shane. And yeah, I got up and did some research and it was devastating. Absolutely devastating. Yeah, it
it was.
really,
It was
really
a shock. It was
was.
a shock to the world. Hey, you know, like
Yeah.
not just Australia, to the world. It was. I remember the morning too when I woke up and heard it. You know, I was never a big cricket fan, um, but Warnie, everybody loved Warnie. You know what I mean? He was
You
a
didn't
fake
have to be, yeah, didn't have to be a cricket fan to know what a man he was.
hundred
Yeah,
percent.
like to
Yeah,
take him coming into my life, like I still believed a black eye was full of love. So there was no doubt about it. You know where I was going, don't you? To the
yeah,
next black eye, the next bad boy.
yeah.
So, yeah, him
Pretty obvious
teaching
by your
me,
track record. Hey,
yeah, him teaching me, that was just, you know, another again a life-changing moment.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you believe
yes.
in a higher power? Like, are you religious or are you? What's
I
your thought?
believe there's, yeah, I believe there's something, buddy, but I have so many family members up there
Yeah,
that I talk to them. I
yeah.
talk to them. Yeah. You know, mummy died almost 8 years ago and she passed away at 9:38 in the morning and I still have an alarm at 9:38 every morning
Oh,
set where I say, I love you, mum. Thank you,
yeah.
mum. And I've got a tattoo here. Your voice is your armor. Go out there and be our warrior. And that's dedicated from my mum and my three sisters and my
Yeah,
daughter. And I also have a huge, wicked, big back tattoo. And mummy's ashes are in the ink. So it's dedicated to mum, Heather Eve,
wow,
and Sissy, Tammy, and Kerry. And yeah, mum's ashes are in the ink. So
wow.
she's with me all the time. Yeah, yeah. Um,
That's powerful. That's awesome.
it is, yeah,
I'll
it
cut this.
feels beautiful.
Yeah, I'll cut this little bit out. But what I'll get you to
Yep,
do, I'll get you to send me a photo because I might add it into a social media short.
yeah, no
With
worries.
you know, I just
Yeah,
felt that just then, and I thought that'll be awesome. I
perfect.
love
Yeah,
attention.
okay, no
But anyway,
worries.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, go on.
yeah. Yeah, so I just sort of want to go back a little bit, if that's okay.
Yeah,
To say like just the with the Mark and the Jason and the Alphonse thing, and the addiction of that lifestyle,
yeah,
to the younger kids, and thinking that it's cool and it's groovy and it's, you know, it's for your mates and it's this and it's that and it's you know, you stick with your gang. It's not fun. It's not fun. It really isn't. What um what you must be suffering to think that this is okay to do that. I'm really sorry about that. But I promise you, drugs, crime, and jail aren't the way. You know, it's a hard struggle. As you know,
yeah.
it's a hard fucking yard. But when you are ready to put into the work, I'm here. Put the work in, I'm here. Um,
And
you know, and
that
just,
has to be. That's right. You know, the uh, the person has to be ready and has to want
yeah,
to do it themselves because it doesn't happen any other way. It literally
no
doesn't.
way.
You can put
No
someone
way.
through rehab or this or that, or if they ain't ready up here or in here mainly, There's
Yeah.
no fucking point. You're wasting everybody's time. I mean, I get messages, you know, a lot through the message that I push on social media, you know, like people trying to get off drugs and shit like that. I've gotten to the point, honestly, where it's like their messages just asking me, can I help them get off drugs? It's like, well, when I was hooked, I wasn't messaging people asking them to help me. You have to do it
Exactly.
yourself. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, you know, in the nicest way possible, like, don't waste everybody's time. You got to be ready, you know?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so that can be very addictive, unfortunately, and then you get
The
addicted to
lifestyle.
other yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
You know, as like the nightclub, the early openers, the next day, you know,
Yeah.
repeat the drugs, the whatever you wanted, basically. Um, and then just going back to my sisters, mate, 28, 28, and 32, and they were dead.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep. So
You know,
Sissy,
I'm 32 now, you know, so
yep, yep. And two, how many children left behind? Three, five children left behind that unfortunately, apart from two, have not broken the cycle. So the generational trauma has
yeah.
gone on.
Yeah.
You know, my brother-in-law's grandson's been charged with murder.
Wow.
Yeah. So just going back to them, Sissy, yeah, 28, married to Dennis in Pentridge, also hung herself in Pentridge. Um, they weren't treated like humans. They were just, you know, what junkie wasn't a big word back there, but druggy was, or drug addict. And
Yeah.
um, yeah, like I went and visited them in prison, in and out. There was after A division in Pentridge, they went to Fairley, um, so back and forth from there. But I went to visit them on my own often as a teenager because Mum would be drunk in bed with a hangover. Um, Used to ride my bike from Carlton to Fairfield on a Saturday and go visit them. Um, there was one day my sister Sissy said to me, "You have to go and see Dennis's brother. He's going to give you a letter to bring in to me. Just sort of put it in your up your sleeve or in your pocket or something." I'm thinking, oh yeah, shouldn't be no harm. So I got to Peter's house and he said to me, "You know what you're doing, yeah?" And I said, "Yeah." And he gave me a bag of orange powder. So the highest grade heroin that's ever been in Australia. I was 14.
Wow.
I yeah, put it up the sleeve of my jumper, but also had a watch on. So when they did the scanner thing, it's just that thing back in the day, the scanner. Fucking beep, beep, beep. But yeah, I was smart enough and, you know, street smart enough and
Yeah.
grown up in that world to know, push my jumper up, it'll stay up there, show them my watch. But yeah, I give that to my sister Sissy. Can only imagine if any of them had overdosed on it because they were all in there at the same time then, Kerry, Sissy and Tammy. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
So are
yeah.
you saying that that's what that you taking that into the prison? Are you saying that's what killed them?
No, no, no. I'm saying imagine if it
Oh,
did.
yes. Sorry, I've got you. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. They
Yep.
weren't thinking about poor little 14-year-old Kelly, were they?
No, that's right. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that like it wasn't scary at the time, it's just another
No.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so then there was Tammy. Tammy was a tortured soul. Um Tammy Tammy tried to drown me, drown me when I was about think it was about 8 or 9, mate. We went to live in Western Australia for a while. And I keep laughing. But the warped sense of humour is the survivor sense of humour, I think.
Yeah. I'm sort of getting a little bit like,
Yeah.
is it going to be a funny story, or are you
Yeah.
just covering up the trauma, or like?
Yeah, no, this is a funny one.
Yep.
And now I have to bring a lightness to the story. You know,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
all doom and gloom. This is a happy story. It's not a sad story.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so my uncle and aunt lived just across the road from the beach and sold fish out the window. And someone could hear me screaming, thank goodness. So, like I said, Tammy was a very tortured soul. But about 8 years on, Tammy put me in dry and kept it on. But she certainly wasn't trying to dry me out, was she?
Oh God.
Just yeah, I was the little sister and probably was very, very spoiled to her because of my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and their dad
Can I just
was,
ask,
yeah.
what was the age gap between you and your sisters?
Okay, so there is so Sissy was the oldest, and she would be now, she died in 86 and she was 28, and we're in 25. She would be 61.
Yep.
Yep. Um, Tam would be about, well, no, so Kerry would be about 58, Tam would be about 56.
Okay, so not
Or
very far apart.
no,
And
not
how
very
old are
apart
you?
at all. I am 56.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So
So,
pretty, we're all born in that same era, that same
yeah,
generation, within the 10-year period anyway. Like,
yeah,
yep.
yeah, the 80s and the heroin. How didn't I stick that needle in my arm?
That's what I
Fascinates
was
me.
going to say. How didn't you? You know, around and back
I,
then too. I was born in '92, so but like I've said to you off stream too, that I admire all these old, criminal stories, the gangland stories and stuff. Always been a big fan of it. But I guess back then too, the awareness behind drugs wouldn't have been like it is today.
no way.
No,
No
so it was a
way.
normality.
No.
I've heard people talk from back in those days, like, if you weren't a heroin addict, you weren't cool.
Yeah. That's it,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And Sissy being married to Dennis, I mean,
yeah.
although she wasn't allowed to have it when she was with him, God, some of the beating she copped for using was horrific. Yeah. So I think I seen the pain in them, thank goodness. I remember when Tammy was about 20-ish. We lived in the Carlton commission flats and lived on the 4th floor of the walk-ups. And the ambulance driver said to me when he finished reviving her, "Tell her to do it on the bottom floor next time, will you?"
Oh,
So I'm getting sort of the belief that my sisters are worthless as well,
yeah,
you know, and I sort of, I haven't, I haven't sort of put myself inside their shoes
yeah,
to understand if I went through what I went through and how worthless I felt, imagine what they went through.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
And yes, yeah. So once again, the drug's not the answer, you know. It's not easy to go from addiction to connection, but once you make that switch and realize that there's people that care. There's people that are ready to help you when you're ready to need the help. And from a domestic violence point of view, I'm going to pop in here. Just the question about people being ready to leave, being safe to leave. There's a huge statistic that even if physical violence isn't part of the past history of the violence you're suffering, the murder is very high on the agenda once you leave.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And yeah, don't ever, ever, ever ask the question, why don't you just leave? Like, we already feel like piece of worthless scum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that question is just, it's not on the table. Please don't ask it. What
And
the
it's such a
legacy
common question, you know?
a lot of people think they're doing the right thing, and that's why I like to educate people on this. They have the best interest at heart, saying, why don't you just leave? My poor son, who was 3 years old when his father told him to choose the knife to try and kill his mother, and he didn't
Yeah.
tell me till he was 16. I was with my next partner by the time he was in year 6. He couldn't graduate year 6, Tonksy.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and mine was physical in the end, but with John, more the mental. And like I said, I left, well, I didn't get to say, but yeah, just that question, why don't you leave? What you can say is, what can I do to help you get out safely? Because a lot of people think we're safe because of Black Eyes Full of Love. The abuse isn't bruises, so it's not abuse. And do not stay for the children. Get out for
Yeah.
the children when the time is right and when your plan has been made and when you're safe. Once again, I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome, Kelly. I think what you're doing too, your story is very, very powerful. And I think it can help a lot of people, women especially, you know.
I hope so.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really, that's another question I want to ask. Where's John now? Is that a
Cameron Cameron cancer got him, mate.
Oh wow,
Cameron
okay.
cancer got him. Yeah. About 8 years ago, I think. Yeah. Do you want me to go through that day at all?
If you like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah. It's a real eye opener for me as well, because I disassociated from it for a long time.
Yep.
So John told me for 6 weeks what he would do, what he would wear, where he would do it, how he would do it, and when he would do it. Kill me or cut my lips off so another man would never look at me. Dumb fucker.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Those
Mr.
words
Warne.
are so traumatic though, like fuck.
Yep. 6 weeks. He got my children, the older two, had them for 3 weeks. The coppers were too scared to go and give him an intervention order and get my kids back because of this career criminal.
Wow.
Yep. So I had my kids for 3 weeks. I couldn't get them back. I had the 20s. Yep. So that, like, I'd ring to speak to the kids and he'd say to the kids, this is your mum telling you, she fucking hates you. She's not going to be
Oh,
with you anymore. She's leaving you. She never wants to see you again. These 3 and 2-year-old kids listening to this for 3 weeks. So the day come, I took my 20s to the daycare, mum, and he had the kids, and he called into the daycare mum to see the 20s. There was no papers in order. There was nothing then. No, there was an intervention order, sorry, and I'd gone to a refuge the week before. He
yep.
went to my house with my son with the chosen knife, cut up all my clothes, cut my car tires up. So that's when I ended up taking the intervention order out, that magic piece paper, that magic carpet ride. Take it, but who knows where you're going to land.
Yep.
Went
100%.
to a refuge, yeah. But little Miss Independent here still wanted to go to work. So yes, Saturday the 4th of January 1996. I was at work. I was with my boss. He had come from the daycare mum from Inala to Indooroopilly. I was at Indooroopilly shopping down, Westfield.
Okay. Yeah.
And managed to do this in approximately half an hour. So the instructions were he was living with a guy. My older two kids were in the car. The instructions were as soon as you hear sirens, take off. So that's what that guy did. He come upstairs. I can see him coming towards me. He had the clothes he said he'd be wearing. It was a Saturday. I was at work. Yes, and he was coming towards me, and all I wanted was peace. I didn't want, no drama.
Yeah.
And as he come towards me, I could smell alcohol, and that was sort of a big trigger. I could notice something spilt down. He had a pink polo shirt. I'd bought these clothes for him for Father's Day prior. And he had something spilt down his shirt, and then I smelt the alcohol, and he was sort of walking and saying to me, "You've got to drop these charges." And I said, "They're not charges. It's just an intervention order to show you can't do what you fucking want."
Yeah.
And as he was doing that, he was sort of walking me towards the back corner of the store. And, unbeknown to me, did I know that was the plan. And as we got there, he sort of turned to his side. I was to here, and he took his hand to put it in his right pocket. And next minute, I know, he's got me by the hair, and I have 4 cuts here, temple to my lip. But thank goodness the carpet was nice and thick, so I could grab my teeth onto the carpet. I couldn't lift my head up.
Wow.
Yeah. That was my thought. You're not fucking ruining this smile, mate. There's no chance. So I've got scars from head to toe, basically. The rest of me is stab marks, one right down my back, big one across my bum. And so you can imagine the state of me by that. I had a lovely white dress on. Yeah, that was no longer white, but he then tried to kill himself. Yeah. So he said, yeah, he told me if he couldn't, he'd kill us both. Dumb fucking idiot. So he stabbed himself twice, and the third one hit the sternum. And amazing Kelly ran to help him. But thank goodness I could hear my boss in the background, Kelly, Kelly, and thank God went the other way. There was 2 nurses in the change room that were trying things on. I work for Fletcher Jones was the name of the place back in the day. Very conservative store.
I remember the store.
So they went to help him, of course. My boss, there was a lot of commotion by that stage. My boss took me to the store next door. The only first aid, thing of kind of help was a cleaner with a disposable nappy that I could sort of put on my face. No security, no nothing. And then I had
CCTV back then?
no.
No. Yeah,
No,
wow.
yeah, not 90, yeah, no, not 96. I don't think there would have been, no. Then I didn't know where my kids were, mate. I didn't know where the older 2 kids were. So I have called the daycare mum and told her what happened. She said, "What do you mean? He just left."
Oh,
And
no.
I said, "Yeah, well, this is what he's managed to do." I mean, he was, like I said, threatening me with it, so these people knew. Yeah, went next door, reeled off about 5 phone numbers off the top of my head. The copper that had taken the intervention order out the week before, he was probably there in about, I'd say, 6-7 minutes. And he come in to me, and he said he's going to die. His fucking eyes are rolling back. He's going to die. They take him to hospital, do a life-saving performance on him that had never been done in a real life situation before, only a dummy situation. He had a sack of blood building up around his heart and they needed to release it. The next weekend in the Courier Mail in Queensland, double page spread about what an amazing job these doctors did on this man.
Oh, you're
Not
joking.
not one mention of me, what he'd done prior, why he was stabbed, nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, so I like to say a lot of the time it's not nice, but I've been fucking raped by every system there is, mate.
Yeah,
Every
clearly,
system there is. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I got a compensation payout of 60,000 from John doing this, and I had to pay a $32,000 personal loan we'd taken out a year before.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
60 grand ain't fuck all. I mean, even back
Is
then,
it?
for what's
Is it?
happened,
It's
for what happened to
nothing.
you,
I
you
had to
know, like,
relocate. I had 4 children. The therapy, like that's fucking daily, still till today.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, money's
Yeah.
nothing.
Is it?
Not
Yeah.
when you're left with permanent scars internally and
Yeah.
externally, you know, like,
Yeah. Yeah. I feel very lucky though. I feel very privileged to be where I am, to have the courage to speak.
yeah,
Like I
definitely.
I, I yeah, I am the voice for the voiceless, I like to say, and I often describe myself as the chosen one. Like, why the fuck?
Yeah,
How did I manage this? How did I get here? So, you know, yeah, sharing my story is my passion. My passion is to pay my lifetime of abuse forward. And, you know, if I can save one life or hopefully hundreds, you know, that is what I would love to do. Yeah.
100%, you know, and look, your story's been amazing. I'm sure there's so much more to it. We are coming towards an end, though, Kelly. But
Yep.
I feel like, and I'm sure you won't mind, but I feel like handballing you off to a couple of other podcast mates and helping get your
Yeah.
story out there a bit more. Maybe
That'd be amazing.
maybe the Clink
Yep.
podcast, I think would be
Yeah.
a good one. That's
Yeah.
probably Australia's #1 podcast at the moment. But I'm good
Yeah.
mates with Brent, and I'm sure he'd
Yeah.
love to get you on. But yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
speechless. I really am. You've taken me by surprise. I'm sort of spewing. I
Wow.
didn't find the time to listen to your other podcast, but
It's
I'm
okay.
definitely honoured to have
Yep.
had you on and shared your story through me. It's been my absolute honour.
And it's an honor and privilege for me. I really think that, yeah, this broader audience, I really hope that someone's heard. You don't need to go that way. You know, you can go another way and you can live another life. Choices make a big difference. And, you know, if you've got children and if you haven't got access to your children, do it for them.
Yeah, well said,
Yeah.
Kelly. Just
Thank you.
one more thing. I think it's important to give a shout out on where people can find you, social media, what platforms are you on, etc.
Yep. So Kellie Carter-Bell on Facebook, at Kellie Carter-Bell on Insta. I'm not good at technology, mate, because one day I
Mate, because
closed
you're
the
an old duck.
shutdown. Yeah, an old duck that doesn't look like one. No, unfortunately, not a nice story.
No.
My last partner, I shut the shutdown button too quick for his liking, fucking KO'd on the floor with 2 black eyes.
Oh,
So
God.
it's still got a bit of control over me. But yeah, I'll take that power back, no doubt about it. Yeah, so Facebook, Insta. You can put my email address up if you like, please. That'd be
Yeah, I'll
amazing.
throw everything in the description to this video anyway.
Yeah.
This video will be on YouTube. the audio will be across all audio platforms. Wherever you
Yep.
just have to type your name into Google and you'll be able to find this story anyway. So, yeah, is there anything else you'd like to add on to the end of this, Kelly?
I just probably, yeah, just once again, I'm here if anyone would like to reach out. I have no university degrees, but I can tell you I'm a fucking professional in the lived subject of abuse. And yeah, I'm open to any kind of questions. Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome, Kelly. Look, it's been an absolute honour having you on. We'll definitely stay in contact.
Yep.
I don't know, maybe even do a bonus episode in the future or something and fill us in with a bit more detail on each thing you've spoken about. But
yeah, because there are a few gaps in there, and yeah, I think that'd add more interest and a wider audience to the story as well.
Definitely, 100%. You know,
Yes.
yeah, definitely. Okay. I can only imagine nobody can tell their story within an hour. You know, so
no.
but
yeah.
Look, thanks again, Kelly. Guys,
Thank you, Braden.
No worries at all. It's been my honour. This was episode. Where are we? Episode 14, season 2, Tonksy Media
That's
podcast
it.
with Kellie Carter-Bell. Thank you, Kelly.
You're welcome. Have a beauty, mate.